Hi, I'm Ryan Oman.
And I'm Nicole Oman.
And together we are
the Empowering Omens
with the Golden Collective.
And today is Fearless Friday, and we are working on the Throat Chakra.
Also known as Visuddha, which means purification.
And it's kind of perfect. The cards we picked today, too, go hand in hand
Absolutely.
with this chakra. It's almost ridiculous, to the T. But today we are being fearless with our expression and with our creativity, and we are listening to a deeper sense of guidance.
And remember, this week's theme is abundance.
So where are we being guided to find new avenues of abundance in our life? And abundance isn't just money. Abundance could be love and fulfillment and joy. Really, we want to think of it as balancing all the chakras, being fulfilled in many different areas in our life. But we have to start taking chances and really going towards that, our innocent desires and the innocent needs that we are truly need to satiate in our life.
Yeah, and so the throat chakra, or Visuddha, is all about communication, and it's all about creating that beautiful, honest interpretation of expression. So you want to be as honest with yourself as possible. While we talk about abundance, be honest. How do you feel about abundance? And do you have something that needs to be said? Or more importantly, do you have something you need to listen to? So as we start to work with our communication skills and trying to achieve the balance of this chakra, you want to make sure that you're not speaking too much or you're not listening too much. And you want to find that beautiful balance. And Nikki and I try to strive for that every time we do one of these videos. Are we talking too much? Are we not talking enough? Are we listening to our inner guidance system? Are we trying to figure it out? You know, this is a balancing process that's really never ending. You're never going to be perfect at it because things are always going to throw you off balance, and it's your job to try to get back.
And just finding that alignment. And I tend to be a chatty Cathy, but it's also about that guidance being received, listened to, and also taking a risk in giving someone heartfelt guidance or advice. So you might find yourself having either one of those, and maybe even both today, of having an opportunity to give a heartfelt or some of your experience or a story to someone that really helps them find a certain sense of fulfillment. And likewise, maybe hearing an unexpected source giving you some really good advice to find a new opportunity or a new avenue for your creative fulfillment around abundance.
Yeah, take inventory of those moments when you're having a conversation with someone and really notice, are you listening or are you just waiting for your turn to talk? And that's really important because a lot of times we really want to express ourselves, and that's wonderful. That's what the throat chakra is all about. However, if we don't take the time to truly listen to the person that we're interacting with, that's not true communication. That's just waiting for your turn to talk.
Totally. And it's just a practice. A lot of us just need to open our ears and receive. That's that receptivity. And the receptivity in that throat chakra is literally listening.
Right. And as we work with abundance, remember, we're trusting the process here. There's just so many things that we can't take inventory of. There's so many factors that we can't control. And so there's a lot of trusting the process when it comes to abundance, knowing that your highest and greatest good is being taken care of for you.
The couple cards that we have is the Innocence card and the Moment to Moment card. So the Innocence card really means purity, which is funny because the throat chakra is about purity. And it's an innocence or kind of a simplicity of what our needs are. If we really start to see our needs and simplify them, we start to realize we're already abundant.
Yeah, this is a good time for you to check in with your inner child. Have you ever met a child that has trouble expressing themselves? Maybe, but not really often. Most of the times, children, especially the younger ones, if they're happy, they're going to let you know it. And if they're unhappy, they're going to let you know it as well. So don't be afraid to embrace that inner child of expression that just says, I feel this and I need to express it.
And a lot of children, especially if they had a healthy childhood or from that 0 to 3 type of range, they're not worried about all this, adulting stuff.
Right.
They know their needs are going to be met. They know they're going to be taken care of. They know they have shelter. They know they have food. And so when you have those basic needs met, you can begin to play more.
They're also not worried how they're going to be received.
Oh,
so
yeah.
when a child
I like
expresses
that.
itself, it's not worried about how you're going to take it.
No.
Because that's its need. It needs to express itself, and it doesn't apologize for that. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go... I'm not saying you need to go out there and just like give people bitter, honest truth, unless maybe you do. Who knows? I can't tell you what situation you're in, but I can tell you that if you trust your guidance system and you trust your process, and you get that gut feeling that something needs to be expressed, do it.
And then another part of this is also the moment-to-moment card, right? So a lot of times we want to see the big vision. We want to know the end of the book before it's... I know.
She used to have a bad habit of reading the last chapter of a book before she decided she wanted to read the book.
Well, I wanted to make sure that it ended properly if I was going to put all...
Properly. Oh, so that's something to come to terms with, right? Does it end properly? Well, who is to say what a proper ending is?
I spent how many hours watching Game of Thrones, and then the end, and I was like, I spent all of this time in
Believe it or not, there are people out there who actually like the ending of Game of Thrones. We don't know who these people are. We've never met these people. But I've been told they do exist, much like unicorns and leprechauns.
Well, okay.
All right, we digress.
We totally digress. However, we want to see what the end is going to be, but that's not the point of life, and that's not the point of any of it. So we also can't... there is a certain sense of uncertainty when we are going into heartfelt abundance, but we have to go into this trust that when we start to take the leap of faith and we just show up moment to moment, that there will be solid ground to stand on when we are ready to take our next step. So stay here in the moment and trust that your guidance is leading you to the path that is appropriate for you.
Right.
And don't worry about the end so much, because the end is in the future, and there's a lot of slip or between.
Oh, many a slip betwixt cup and lip.
But there's so much going on in this creative process that the end can change.
Totally.
Which is a great thing, because you can make it even better.
Right?
And so the last card I'm getting is this creativity card. And literally one of the words for this throat chakra is creativity. And it's time to trust your creative nature. It's time to think outside the box.
Yeah, and you know what? I just keep coming back to this inner child thing.
Mm-hmm.
When kids draw a picture, they don't care how it turns out.
No.
They just draw what feels right in that moment. When kids tell a story, they don't care how the story is going to end. They have no idea how the story is going to end. Most times it doesn't end. It just keeps going and going and going. And that's okay, because that's part of your creative process. Allow yourself to indulge in that inner child, that freedom of expression, and just go. And then once you get all of the clay on the table, then you can start to whittle it back and turn it into something. But the first part of the creative process is just getting something on the canvas, getting something on the table, getting something on the paper. Whatever that is for you, whatever the medium is for you, just get it all out first. Then you can start to refine.
So I'm speaking today, and I haven't done a speech in a very long time. And I got the opportunity to do this 4 days ago. And I was freaking out. I didn't know what I was going to do. And so I had a thought that I was inspired by about being a mess and that being okay. And I was really raw, and I was like, this is garbage. But what I started to realize as I just threw a slab of clay onto the potter's wheel, and as I started kind of playing with it, and I took the opportunity, I signed up for it, I started whittling back, and all of a sudden that speech started to take form. And then the last day or so, I started to give it some details. So don't judge the block of clay.
Right.
Don't judge it. Just continue to play and work with it and whittle it till you start to realize what form it's taking shape, and then worry about the details and the fine tuning.
And don't be afraid to make a mess.
Yes.
You know,
Well, there's my
creativity is messy.
Yes.
It's by its very nature, it's messy, which is a really interesting kind of a juxtaposition here in that throat chakra, because you have a throat chakra that's called purification, purity, but it's also about creativity. So how do you have the two of those? And that's the balance you have to find, right?
But creativity is pure. The whole process is pure. Even the messiness is pure. Look at childbirth, how pure that really is. But it's a mess. And the physical act, trust me. And you're not going to have a
parenting
perfect.
Is even more messy
It
than
is
childbirth.
totally. There's the inner child again, right? And that's the beauty of it. The purity is the imperfection. The purity is the mess itself. The purity is the process. So allow yourself to have this messy process of your expression, and just your abundance process in itself doesn't have to look perfect. It can be riddled with failure. But with those failures, you learn so much, and you become a more authentic, you become a more impactful leader and teacher and artist. It's better relatable.
Absolutely. So as we get into our meditation, what I want you to do is focus on this inner child thought. This thought of this inner child, and I know that the theme of the week is abundance, right? So we want to bring abundance in here, and this particular chakra we're focusing on guidance. So as you're the inner child, your inner child is talking to your inner adult, and what type of guidance does that adult want to give that inner child, and what type of guidance can that inner child give that inner adult? Okay, so we're having a conversation with our interior right now. So as you breathe in these thoughts of abundance, I want you to exhale the feelings of what that inner child might experience around abundance. Children are not afraid to dream big, and you shouldn't be either. So let's go ahead and get into the meditation. Remember, breathing in the thought of abundance, exhaling that inner child feeling around abundance.
Allow this throat chakra to open and connect with the beings of your inner child and your inner parent. See them both with their wisdom, their experience, and their point of view. On this breath, allow this inner child to fully express itself and play. On this breath, connect to the inner adult and allow itself to share its wisdom. The inner child allows us to dream big and not be apologetic for how we like to express ourselves. And our inner adult allows us to be safe and gives us those steps so we can bring those dreams to reality. Allow them to walk hand in hand, being supported and protected by one another. Know that your purity, your inner child, your dreams are worth being expressed. And know that you have everything you need to take action, to hold that inner child's hand, so those dreams, that abundance, that fulfillment can be realized. It is done. It is done. It is done. It is done. Thank you guys so much for joining us today for Fearless Friday. Be fearless in your expression, but also be fearless in your listening, because you never know who's going to give you the advice you need. They might be this big, and they might open your heart to new possibilities.
Absolutely. And if you guys are looking for a community where you can be fearless and feel completely safe to do so, please join the Golden Collective. That's exactly what we've created it for, is to create an environment that cultivates expression.
And like-minded souls that don't judge you when we want to express these things. We support each other and we hold each other's hands as we come out of our own fears. Also, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and click that little bell, ding, so that you know that we are here supporting you every day. And thank you for sharing and liking and doing all the things, because as we spread our joy and our light, we hope that we create a community of like-souled beings to do it with us.
Thank you so much for being fearless, guys.
Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.